Hi and welcome to the first product test for 3FT. What we're going to look at today is the Fizzy Tea ground bait, which is here. I've rolled it into a ball already. Now what you'll find with this ground bait is it's very active. Now what you'll find is once it's in the water it'll be active for at least 30 minutes. The fizz coming from it, the cloud that's generated from it, it brings tension to the swim. But you also got to be wary as well that you are going to find that you'll catch bream as well. I mean, obviously you can't avoid bream nowadays; they take more or less anything. But I find I've come up with this mix, and I find that it gives tench. Tench love bubbles, they love fizz, and I find it gives them exactly what they need in nutrition and digestibility. From a ground bait. Now, once I put this in the water, obviously you'll see how active it is. But one thing I need to point out is the coconut milk. Not a lot of you use it for some reason, and I find it's absolutely superb additive for putting into a ground bait. Not just for tench. Bob will love it too. I mean, you'll find that during the summer months when cloud is essential really in a ground bait mix to make it active. Coconut milk is absolutely superb additive. Now within this tench ground bait it contains the way it's been mixed is with coconut milk. Now you can get this from any supermarket. I got this from Asda, but you can get it from any type, supermarkets, Asda, Tesco, whatever. There's also cheaper ones than Blue Dragon. Now, obviously, this is one of the most expensive ones, but there's a lot of additives you can actually put in it. You can mix it with molasses as well. Molasses is very sweet, and it tends to work really well with a ground bait such as this. Now, what you'll find with this ground bait is it's not really that smelly. It's quite a milky type base bait, base ground bait, I should say, and what it will do is it will give you lots of things that the tench can pick up and eat and rummage around in. It contains crushed hemp seed, and it also contains a very, it contains a very soluble sort of powder which creates the cloud as well. Now the coconut milk obviously helps with that as well. So what I'm going to do, you have to excuse me, I've got a cold. What I'm going to do is going to put this in the water, and then when I've done that, you'll come back to me, okay?
And now you're listening to the voiceover. Right, I'm just putting this ball into this water and, into this tank, and now you can see how active it actually is. Straight away, I mean, that's just been put in that tank, and you can already see how active the ground bait is becoming. The fizz generated from it is quite intense. The cloud is also quite immense. So within seconds, you have got an active ground bait that's going to bring fish into the swim. You can see a bit of coconut milk there that hasn't actually formed properly into the ground bait. That's partly my fault. I would say this ground bait lends itself to using the Mr. T boilies. So I would include a few 10mm boilies within this ground bait to get the tench rooting about and getting used to that boilie specifically. In a second, I'll move the ground bait, move the camera a little bit closer to the ground bait so that you can actually see what's going on. But as you can see, all the bits, all the little particles are flying up to the surface and dropping back down. This is one of my most active ground baits. The barbel fizz will be a lot heavier, and it will, basically the ball will not move. It'll be quite heavy to stay, to basically stay into a swim that you're fishing in a river, for example. This ground bait's quite light. But when it's on a method ball or when you're using a method feeder, there we go. I'll push the camera a little bit closer so you can see what's going on. But like I say, when using a method feeder, this will stay on your, stay on the method feeder and just fizz away and just break down. But obviously, if you're fishing a float and you throw it in, then this is more or less what will happen. Now you can actually see the cloud getting more intense, so much so that you can almost find it difficult to see what's going on. And the piece will actually break off in a minute, and you could actually see what I mean about it flying towards the surface and dropping back down. This makes the ground bait very active, and I personally think this will catch a lot of tench. It will also catch bream. Like I was saying previously, you'll catch bream, but you just can't avoid that. I would suggest using molasses, being sticky, and there you can see a bit of the ground bait flying up to the top and dropping back down. Yeah, like I was saying, using this ground bait in conjunction with 10mm boilies, putting a few little bit of extras in, like the molasses or coconut milk, for example, will give you a big edge on most waters. I'd also suggest using a 10mm Mr. T boilie on a hair rig quite close. You're only talking 3 or 4 inches on a method rig. It would certainly catch a lot of tench, I'm sure. Almost coming to the end now of this video, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Continue to keep following and supporting, etc. I appreciate that. Appreciate all the encouragement and everything else, and the jobs that the testers are doing. So continue doing that. I really do appreciate it. And that's the end. Thank you very much for watching.